Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very exciting video because we have a couple updates, you know what I mean? But then we have some rumors and leaks and a bunch of massive Nintendo Direct leaks. And I gotta say, this Nintendo Direct, like the one we're waiting for, is right around the corner. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. Yeah, so I didn't have a video yesterday because we were in the thick of this winter storm, but we did survive. So shout out to survival. A bunch of you guys reached out on Instagram. So yeah, I made it. I'm good. I hope you guys are as well. But we have a great video today full of, just the most exciting news you could possibly be waiting for. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe. We are 80 subscribers away from 26,000. That's pretty cool. And follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep these communities growing. And let's go and get right into this one. So the first thing I would like to do, and it's kind of crazy because we just did this a few days ago, but go over another update about a very important person from Nintendo retiring after nearly 40 years. Hideki Kono was a veteran of Nintendo, with a producer and game designer working with the company for nearly 4 decades. Kono got his start at Nintendo in 1986, serving as an assistant director on both the second and third Super Mario Bros. Games. He was also instrumental in the creation of some of Mario's biggest franchises, like Mario Kart, Luigi's Mansion, Yoshi's Island. You probably heard of a couple of these. So again, I just want to give these people their flowers because, they shaped my childhood, they shaped my entire life at this point, and now my career. And this is kind of crazy because we just seen somebody major from Metroid Prime in the Metroid series and Paper Mario retiring. And aside from the part of just giving these people their flowers and, taking your hats off to them, it kind of puts in perspective, this Nintendo Switch 2 generation, we're going to see a lot of these people who spent their entire life working at Nintendo since the inception of, Nintendo consoles in 1985 or 1984 or whatever, finally retiring. Like, this will probably be the last generation we see Aonuma. Shigeru Miyamoto is barely doing anything hands-on anymore with the games, and it just makes you take a step back and look at the essence of time and how it just disappears in a second, and then also reflect on all these great games. So, this isn't an exciting update, but I still think it's just really cool to look back on this person's great career. Now, normally we would have a couple other smaller but interesting updates sprinkled into this, or smaller leaks. I can't even do it in this video because it's just Nintendo Direct news, updates, leaks, back to back to back. And if you don't feel like it's Nintendo Direct season, well, you would be wrong. Let's just look at the evidence, right? We got Donkey Kong Country Returns HD getting a Switch 2 upgrade. We got the Super Mario Galaxy movie Nintendo Direct. We got Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 release date, as well as a new trailer, new amiibos, all that good stuff. We got the Talking Flower. And now there is another Nintendo Direct announced already for this month. And this is just the beginning of all this. So Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is getting a Nintendo Direct on Thursday, January 29th. And I think this is a 20-minute Nintendo Direct. And I'm almost laughing here because if you know anything about Tomodachi Life, it's in that 20 minutes, you're probably going to see some of the most weird and wacky stuff pretty much ever. Some people are questioning, why is this game, 1, getting a Direct, and 2, is it 20 minutes long? But you have to think, if you didn't play this on the 3DS, and you're trying to explain what this is, maybe to your friends or whatever, it's kind of hard to explain and make it not sound completely bonkers, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it isn't a bonkers game, it is. But if I'm just trying to pitch this game to somebody like an elevator pitch, they're probably going to walk off the elevator and say, yeah, I'm good, bro, but shout out to you and keep doing your thing. Because it's just a weird and wacky premise, right? So I think this is the right move. Show people what this game is, what it's about. And I think this might be one of the few last big Switch and Switch 2 dual release games, right? This is technically a Switch game that is getting a Switch 2 edition as well, I believe. But it's in essence a Switch game. So we'll probably get this, and I think there's 1 or 2 more Switch games that are coming out this year. Then we should start seeing just Switch 2 games moving forward, so that's great news. But yeah, this is cool. I'm excited for this one, man. And I think this is coming out in the summer, which is, the perfect time for this game. So now let's start getting into these bigger Nintendo Direct rumors and leaks, and some of them are coming from the most credible source possible in this whole gaming leaks universe. So those I'm not going to take with a grain of salt. I'm going to take these as the gospel. If they come out, cool. If they don't, of course I'll be let down. But for the time being, I'm just going to go with these. And these are coming from Nate the Hate. So number one, Nate the Hate says the first Nintendo Direct of the year will be on the first week of February. Right now he mentions February 5th, although he cannot confirm that. But all of his other contacts said the first week of February. The rumors are currently February 5th, but then I'm also seeing people say February 12th. Regardless, any of those days I would be happy because that's right around the corner. Now I had some other stuff pulled up from him as well, and now I can't find it. I got this stupid ass MacBook Glass update, and any tabs you open up, after like 10 minutes, it just turns the screen black. It is the worst freaking update of all time. It makes me want to rage and smash my computer. So I'll go off what I have so far, and then hopefully you can fill in some of the stuff that I miss. But first, he says Expedition 33, Metaphor Ray Fantasio, Final Fantasy 16 are all coming to the Switch 2. So all of that is fantastic, especially, Nash Weedle said that we're possibly getting Kingdom Hearts, like whatever collection, pretty much all the games natively on the Switch 2 as well. If they drop any of these announcements, plus that Kingdom Hearts, buddy, I don't know if I'm making videos anymore because I will be locked in my room like a dungeon playing these games portably on the go, and I could not be happier. So I had another post pulled up on Twitter, and my screen just went completely black. It's truly making me crazy. But based off my memory, it said the next 3D Mario is coming this year, and that will be released around the holidays. The next generation of Pokemon is coming this year. Again, that would be released around the holidays. And he said something else. And I wish I could remember what that something else thing is. But if we go back and look at all the announcements we've gotten the past week, plus the Tomodachi Life Nintendo Direct, what is that really saying? I mean, from the outside looking in, it's saying this next Nintendo Direct is going to be, I need another word for massive, like gigantic, something like that. But it truly is, They couldn't fit all of these announcements in that Direct. Cool. That's exciting. Us getting that Tomodachi Life Direct, another thing I think that points to is this next Nintendo Direct will probably be Nintendo Switch 2 focused entirely. So, the discourse online is Nintendo's holidays weren't as good as they hoped. The Switch 2 is still breaking records. It's doing incredible, but it wasn't as good as the Switch's first year or something like that. Yeah, this thing is not failing at all. I almost feel like it's impossible to fail at this point, but never say never, whatever. But maybe they said, look, the holidays weren't as good as we hoped. We need to get people to buy these consoles. Early adopters will adopt early. That's why they're called early adopters, dumbass. But we need to get the other people on board. How do we do that? Well, with games. You know what I mean? The console is great. It's there. But you need stuff to play on that console. I do think we got some really cool exclusives so far, but nothing to make you say, you know what? I'm going to go buy a Nintendo Switch 2. Like if it wasn't already on your to-do list, I don't think they've dropped anything to make you go do that. So I think this next Nintendo Direct is going to make you say, whoa, I need to go play that. I'm actually remembering one of the games on that list right now that I had pulled up and it went black. I believe Nate the Hate also said a Zelda remake is coming. I can't remember if it said Ocarina of Time or not, but a Zelda remake, that right there could be a system seller if it's a Switch 2 exclusive. Another thing we need 100 million, quadrillion, bazillion, Googleplex, I think that's a number, percent. We need Mario Kart World DLC. Look, I'm not here to tell you the game is bad. And I do think they've done a couple cool updates to fix some problems. But if you didn't get a Mario Kart World bundle, and you have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still, and you're just playing that, there's nothing to make you go, you know what, I have to play. I need to play Mario Kart World. It's just not doing it. I think the game is cool, but we need some DLC. I think we need new courses, and we need some kind of characters, whatever. This is Zelda's 40th anniversary. This would be the best time to add the Zelda characters as well. But this is not all. I have another leak for you. And if we were to go back to 2023 and you said one of these games were coming to the Switch 2 before we got the Switch 2, I would have said, let's just skip that one because that is not going to be a good time, right? If we go back and look at WWE 2K18, I believe, one of the funniest launches in history. Like, it's not funny if you bought the game, but looking at some of the leaks and glitches, it's very funny. Now we got WWE 2K25 on the Switch too, and that is a phenomenal port. I mean, they did an amazing job on it, truly. So we have this leak coming from Bill Kun, which is a pretty reliable leaker. WWE 2K26 is launching March 13th, 2026, with a Switch 2 release on the same day. Now, unfortunately for the Switch 2, it is not getting a physical edition, and I don't think it got a physical edition or even a game key card edition, WWE 2K25. It's a code in box. That's very unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. At least we're getting the game over there. And I have to assume that WWE 2K25 did so well on the Switch 2 that they really focused on the Switch 2 port for the next game. I wish I could see the sales numbers, but I have to assume it did really, really good. I would even see people post the game who never watched wrestling, never played any of the games before, saying, yeah, this is a lot of fun. So it makes a lot of sense for them to focus on a Switch 2 edition as well. And maybe this year going forward with NBA 2K and Madden and FIFA, we'll probably get all those games day one as well. And it's just cool, man. Like, if you had these games on the PS5, you probably don't care. I have a PS5, but I just prefer playing handheld. And the fact that we can do that again, and we don't have to wait months or even years at this point to get that port, and we're not really taking a hit on the performance and graphics, it's just something I don't want to take for granted, because it wasn't always that way. So based off everything we learned in this video, that next Nintendo Direct has got to be like a showstopper. It's got to be a system seller, and in my humble opinion, all signs are really starting to point towards that. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, I would really love to hear from you guys. Start a conversation down there. Fill me in on anything that I missed. This video was kind of a nightmare. I've got to figure out a way to like download an older update. I try to figure it out. I don't know how to do it. So if you have a Mac and you know how to download old software updates, message me on Instagram and please help me, because it's really becoming a nightmare to make videos with this computer. So that would be a lot of help. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter on the way out. Hit a like and subscribe. Consider becoming a channel member. And you guys know me. I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace.